Welcome back to the episode of my trading vlog, where most of the views come from returning subscribers. If that's you, hit the like button. Let's talk about SPY first. We'll go into the Qs, gold, maybe we'll hit the meme stocks. Who knows? We'll just go SPY on the daily time frame. We've had a counter trend following a bullish divergence after a big strong downtrend. All right, this was not unexpected to see a counter trend occur after a bullish divergence, with the price hitting lower lows and the RSI having higher lows. This is typical. This is very normal, not surprised at all. And you can see what implied volatility does here in purple. It drops. Implied volatility is currently negatively correlated with the price. We are still in a downtrend. This is nothing but a correction, I think, in SPY. We won't get bullish again until we break this big downtrend that we started in July of last year. At this point in time, I'm looking for a triangle, and it's hard to say whether or not we're going to get something that forms typically like we would expect in the forward direction. This really could be a reverse triangle, in which case volatility is going to go wild. What could happen is this bullish divergence, these lows that form this divergence, that could become the beginning of a new chart pattern where we're going to have lower lows and maybe three highs, three peaks through here. We'll call it triple top, and we'll call confirmation after that second low is surpassed. We'll have to wait and see. There's resistance here at around 433 to 437.13. Whether or not the price breaks through there is going to be important. There's still that downtrend to contend with, even if it does get through there. And there are several peaks. There's a lot of resistance. This is very choppy. How many waves do I count? I count 1, A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3. This is all probably 4 and 5. We are now in wave A, I want to say, of wave 4, which means we're expecting yet another counter trend at a smaller wave degree. And this wave degree could go to any extent. It could even pass this prior low. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. If we get a reversal off of this level of support and resistance at 433, expect downside. And honestly, it's probably going to come to about 420 in my best guess. That would be the best guess. From there, we'd expect yet another counter trend, and then people will be talking about inverted head and shoulders, but it'll be too early to tell at that point because we're looking for waves A and wave B, which will have 3 waves, could easily form in some sort of zigzag like this. And then we'll get, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. This could be A. Wait, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then A, B, and then one more uptrend for C of 4, right? And the only rule for that is it can't move into the extent of wave 1, which would be at around 433.11. So you can see that the Elliott wave count here, it's not necessarily predictive. This could be a complete measured move down and it's done and we're going to be bullish from here on out. That's possible. But if that's not the case, we're looking for sideways grind through here. And that could result in a lot of choppy action for a while. After all, there are a lot of gaps through here that have yet to be filled, and old gaps too from way back here. And so I'm thinking we're going to spend some time, some choppy time between 406 and 437 personally. We don't know, of course, there's no confirmations shown, there's no reversal signals yet. All we've seen is an expected counter trend, and now it's like the moment of truth. Will SPY make the bullish move? We'll have to wait and see. QQQ, of course, is moving kind of sideways, following SPY and a little uptrend through here. I was expecting a lot of sideways grind. Here it is, a lot of sideways grind moving through this zone of uncertainty between 353 and 386. The RSI hasn't reached overbought yet, so we're still possibly moving through a big corrective cycle. Implied volatility dropping to support that idea. We're just going to be going sideways. This is a really uncertain place for the market to be in. It really is. Of course, after this magnificent reversal, this big uptrend, we're looking for a counter trend, which is what we're looking at. And when the uptrend resumes, it could be very powerful. We are right there, aren't we? If we get another move up here out of this consolidation area, we'll be looking for another push just like this first one. And that would put us to an all-new all-time high. Again, we're going to need to get above, though, 389 to even suppose that's what's going to occur. From here, we could just reverse and come back down. We don't know. There's no confirmations yet, but we are at a significant level of support and resistance at 369. We're going to be watching carefully here on QQQ. Let's go to, how about Bitcoin? We'll look at Bitcoin next. Bitcoin had a big rally, and we're watching carefully as it hits this resistance. Bullish continuation level at 347.60 has been passed, and we've seen several closes above there. Price seems to be consolidating. To me, this looks like a half-staff tilted flag, where we have a flagpole forming probably from right here at 26,780. We'll call that top of the flagpole in this low and give ourselves kind of a conservative target. that would still be at, let's see, 42,100. Again, that's near the target at 40,500. Where'd this one come from? Back here. So when we closed above 30,620, we could put a target down at 40,500. That's near the target for this shorter term uptrend. Bitcoin could be going wild right now, and so far it's looking like it wants to head higher still. The RSI is in overbought. That is okay. Typically the biggest moves come as the RSI remains deeply overbought or deeply oversold, because these are about averages. If the averages are trending very strongly, that's what we're going to get. The MACD through here is starting to look like we're losing bullish momentum, and that's just because we've seen some sideways grind, but even this is tilted upward. We're gonna need a breakout above the last recent high at 36,523 or below 33,588. Any move above or below there will signal what's next. What I'm expecting through here is wave 3. It's very possible wave 2 through here lasts a little longer before we get that big surge higher. We're going to wait and see. This is a pretty short-term trend, so it's kind of hard to read at the moment. Let's go ahead and look at gold futures next. See what gold's been up to. Gold's hovering at around $2,000 an ounce. 1987 is pretty high. You can see the MACD here is starting to look like we might enter into a corrective trend soon. Implied volatility is heading down. Volume is low, but the 30-period average volume is actually rising. We've hit deeply oversold, and we've rose straight back to overbought, and we're falling back now on the RSI. Of course, we're in a consolidation. This looks like the same thing we're seeing in Bitcoin, where we've had just this significant surge, and now we're starting to form a flag. And you know what I'm going to do that same extension, Fibonacci extension tool, bring us up to 2,150 if we get a breakout above 20,000 or 2020. Very interesting to see this. We'll see if 1983 comes in as support through here. Very well could. And now that I've seen Bitcoin and gold and SPY, I need to look at the dollar. I'm very curious to see what's going on there. Check out Dixie. I was kind of expecting, let's see, what was I expecting? Can't remember anymore. I think it was just kind of like we've reached this deeply overbought. We're probably looking for retracement. That would make sense. We're definitely getting that now. You can see we're falling. This kind of looks like Bitcoin and gold, doesn't it? And that's curious to see like a positive correlation there. I think that I'll need to compare those time frames, because really what this looks like is more like an inversion of SPY right now. Very interesting. I need to do some comparative analysis through there, because I wouldn't expect gold and Bitcoin to rally with the dollar. And so that kind of makes me think that we'll see a turn down in the dollar for those other rallies to come to fruition. Doesn't have to be that way though, because right now I think the big news is that there's still a lot of cash out there that's not in the markets. And so it's just possible that the amount of money entering into the markets is what's causing these fluctuations, less normal correlations, normal market behavior. Not that I know any of that. I can't know it. I have to speculate it, but honestly, it's a little weird. So I'm just going to be watching the price, which is the ultimate indicator. It's going to show us everything. It includes all contributing factors, regardless of whether you think they're legitimate, whether or not you like them, whether or not we know what they are. It's going to show up in the price. Anyway, so let's move on from there. Let's go check out AMC, see what's going on there. This has been quite a sad tale for quite a long time. We've had to push back up to a local high. Let me get my chart figured out here. Jeez. Towards 1098. Of course, that was a bearish continuation level forever ago. Now it's support or resistance. Here we're seeing it probably going to act as resistance. The RSI is near 50. We need that to get above 50, hit overbought before we can say we're really experiencing some bullish momentum. Volume is fairly low. The implied volatility is fairly low as well. It's kind of ticking up through here. The MACD is not going to be very reliable, as the price has been making just wild swings. Let's run an hourly chart here and see what this looks like. Whoops. Phase scores. I don't know what those are. Anyway, so on the hourly time frame, what I'm looking at through here, we're just going to analyze this really quickly. There's probably a lot of people that are like, hey, there you go. We've had a rising wedge and a downward breakout. But what I want to do is analyze where the top of that first wave is right there and say this is probably impulse 1 and then corrective 2. This is probably 3, 4, and you can see wave 4, if I zoom in here really close, 4 actually comes into the range of wave 1. And when this occurs in this pattern, this actually could be what's called a leading diagonal triangle. This is possible. if that's the case, then this is actually going to prove to be, this could be very bullish. And I say that because it's going to be in wave position A, which is where it belongs. And it's going to be in wave position A of a larger C wave. Does that make sense? Let me show you. So we've got waves A, B, and we're forming wave C. Wave C could have 3 waves in it, in which case this is the beginning of A. We're seeing wave B, which is the retracement, which is expected, and who knows how long or how low it will go. But for the sake of guessing, we'll just say at 10.32. And again, we're going to have some overlapping targets here, which is always good, at $12 to $13. So we could see a little retracement back here and then another push higher in a large corrective wave. And that kind of makes me want to try to guess at what the chart pattern may be on a larger degree through here. Let me just have a gander, connect some lows. I mean, yeah, we could be looking at that. We could even see 13.75. Wouldn't that be interesting to see price do something, maybe come down to the uptrend and then surge up to 13.75? That sounds like a meme stock. I don't know what's going on with AMC anymore. I really don't, but this chart is starting to look like we're looking for some bullish reversal after a nice corrective trend. There's even like this triangle through here. It's not very clean, but I think that we get it in spirit at least through there. A, B, looking for C, and in wave C, we've had wave leading down a triangle in wave A. So I wouldn't be too despaired yet. If we get below 908, this is actually a new bearish reversal level at this point, because then we'll be looking at a double top from there on out. Again, we're far away from that, so I'm not worried about it. Let's go look at GameStop really quickly, where we've had a big dump, big push down. We've broke this corrective uptrend. Turns out this was all part of a bigger measured move down. Look at these 3 waves, they're just massive. So now we're looking at 1357. It's possible that we're forming a bottoming pattern through here. This downtrend is going to be the one to watch. There's a lot of room overhead before we reach it. That means that we could have some rallies, and even those big rallies may not totally determine a complete reversal. It's just, you know, there's a lot that could go on between there and here. It's just, there's a lot of room on this chart. There really is. If I draw a more intermediate term downtrend, we've broken one. You can see this. So it's possible that this is a bottoming pattern through here. I wouldn't want to say inverse head and shoulders. It's just a little lopsided for that. Let's go ahead and do this. In fact, it almost looks like we're forming a triangle through here, right? And that's not the best. It's not, because then this could just be the first incoming wave. This is a corrective wave, and we'll find another wave heading lower once we break this uptrend through here. But this could turn into a reversal pattern. It just hasn't yet, so we're gonna have to wait. I think the inverted head and shoulder through here is not, it's not great. It's really not. What we're probably gonna see is something like this, and then a spill down or spill up. We'll wait for that breakout, but I think we're gonna go sideways here in GameStop. So a lot going on. I didn't want to make this too long. I probably ramble on longer than I think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to keep the channel going for, I don't know, forever it seems. So stay tuned and hit like, subscribe, do whatever you want. I don't care. Have a good time. Happy trading.